recording this this blessing of the transformation of Spirit of Hope United Church building. We are outside where the building currently stands. Now, this little plot of land will have changed a lot over the eons. There may have been some point where this was a volcanic, violent landscape. There may have been giant reptiles wandering past where this building stands. My guess is that the first humans probably saw some form of boreal forest around here. No matter what has stood on top of the land, whether it's a tree or it's grass or whether it's concrete, whether it's an animal foot, a human foot, it has been constant. I mean, this chemistry will have changed. But this little piece of earth has been here in some form or another for all of Earth's history. As Strathcona and Edmonton expanded, I'm not sure whether there was anything on this corner before the church was built. I tried to look it up, I couldn't find any information and I didn't know that. Let's assume that it was an empty lot at some point, ready for whatever urban development was going to come this way. Eventually it became home to Avonmore United Church and Edmonton Korean United Church. A fire destroyed the eastern part of the building at some point, and it was rebuilt. The pyramid that sits over there rose from the ashes of the Avonmore A-frame church sanctuary fire. Eventually, we called this place United on White, and then Spirit of Hope United Church. But the land, which remains as it always has, supports a renewal of this particular structure in the coming weeks. And when the community enters this building again in a few months, things inside will have transformed. The outside footprint is going to remain the same. Maybe a new exit to keep us safe while we're in there, a new place to come in, but basically the footprint is the same. But it will have transformed yet again on this constant, ever-loving, supportive land. We're here today with respect, in community, to bless this planned transformation. Let's hear a little bit about what we hope this might be.
Sure, I'm standing beside the architect, so I can fill in the details of it. I think what I wanted to say, on hopes and dreams, I was thinking about, it's been maybe 6 months since we started working together with the Cardinal siblings and Evan, a year since we've been working with Bart. So it feels like we always talk about it as this was a year since COVID, a year since we started planning the reno. And the renovations are going to be transformative for our community and what we hope to be done. But then, that year, we actually started working on this 7 years ago with a group of human beings. There were 10 United Churches down White Avenue, and none of us were able to see a sustainable future that way, so we started working together. That's 7 years ago. And then I was talking with an elder in our community who said, we were working on that in 1990, back in the old location, and in 1990 we decided to stick with the building and try to reduce programming. So it's really neat to see us, that didn't work. So it's really neat to see the community trying something different, which is to give up the old building and try to renew and have meaningful and relevant programming for the future. And then working with you guys, and so that whole zooming out, like I think that every person that I talk to, that frame gets bigger and those connections go deeper. And so I'm hoping to, like, this is a new place for me to exist in community, and it's really neat to explore those roots. So thank you all for joining us, and I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add.
I think that this is a perfect segue to introduce our wonderful musician, Mackenzie Brown. Mackenzie, would you like to introduce yourself and share perhaps a little bit of the significance of the honor song that you're going to share?
Absolutely. So Sanse no Totamak, Kamamak Nitligason, Bigito Wastan Skatian Puchinia, Mispachis Kastarequania. Hi, my name is Mackenzie. My Cree name is Kamamak, which is the butterfly. And I share that because butterflies represent transformation. And I think that it really sounds like that's what's been happening in this space. And I think that it's incredible. It's amazing to go through a transformation within the same boundaries of a space and create new community, create new homes for people. The song that I'm going to sing for you, it is an honor song. It's a song that gives gratitude and a song that gives thanks. I'm a drummer, obviously, and one of the parts about drumming is that we are always playing the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And that reminds us, because we all come from the same place, right? We come from Mother Earth. We believe we come from the star world, which is similar to, right, to your beliefs as well. And so I think it's a beautiful way of giving thanks to this new building that's creating community always, and has created community and will continue. So I would love to share my song with you.
So, as mentioned so eloquently before, we are here for the transformation ceremony. There's a lot of change happening, and what we thought would be helpful is offering a smudge. Now, the reason why we smudge as the K-Walker Creek people, what we've been taught is we smudge to cleanse ourselves, so to seal out that negativity in our lives, to seal in the positivity. We smudge to intention set, to reflect on why we're doing what we're doing and what are we doing. So really think and really be clear about that. And lastly, we also smudge to call in our ancestors, those on the other side, to come sit with us and help us with our endeavors. So what this looks like, it's going to basically differ on your family, your environment, and your culture. So for example, some different peoples, they use different medicines. On the west coast they use cedar, and in the south they use sweetgrass. Right here we use sage. Some say that your glasses and your jewelry that you're wearing, that you should take those off when you're smudging to come into this world, or rather to smudge as you came into this world. And then lastly, some say that it's really important that we stand. But for us, what we've been taught, and this has been like really drilled into us, is that sincerity is the highest form of prayer. And that your glasses and your jewelry, everything that you're wearing, that's a part of who you are, so you can totally wear that while you're smudging. And also that you should use whatever you have to connect in your own way. So what this will look like specifically, and just quickly, here has smudged. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just do a demonstration just so you know what it is. What's going to be happening is I'm going to be coming around in a circle to each and every one of you, and I'm going to be lighting this medicine. So what you're going to see is some smoke coming up. Now that smoke, that's going to help us with that cleansing process that I spoke about. It's also going to carry our thoughts and our prayers up to the Creator, those on the other side. And it's also going to remind us about our connection to one another and all things. So what's going to happen is I'm going to come to each one of you, and I'll be holding it out just like Jacqueline's holding it right now. And what you want to do is, just like you're washing yourself with water, you really want to start with your hands. And what I think about right here is just, I want to do good work today. I want to do things in a good way, from a good heart. And then what I would do is I would then bring it over myself like this, like washing myself. I bring that clarity to my eyes, to my ears, to my mouth, to my heart. You bring it over your legs to be on the right path in life, and you can bring it all over your body to ask for help. Now there's a bunch of different ways to do this. There is no wrong way. Once again, the most important thing is to come from that sincere place. So wherever you feel like you need that cleansing, that clarity, you just bring it there. So that's what's going to happen. And while I'm going around, if either of you, or anyone rather, has any questions whatsoever, like you forget or something, I'm there to help, so feel free to ask any questions. Before I do that, and before I go first, does anyone have any questions before we get started? Perfect, okay. Then I will go first. I always forget which pocket I have to light. Yeah, and what we can do is we can just pause the recording just while we're doing this, and then once we're done, we can resume.
Okay.
And now to close, I'm going to say just a few words, a short prayer, but I invite everyone to pray in their own way, whatever's comfortable for you. I want to ask the grandmothers and the grandfathers and the ancestors and the Creator to come sit with us and to be with us, so that our hearts and our minds can be open, so that we can dream of a better future together. I also want to call in that spirit of tatawao, of there is room, to remind us to make space for one another as we are on this long but very important journey of being and becoming treaty people. Wonderful. So now I'm going to pass it over for the music portion. And while that's happening, I'm going to go around the building and just smudge the grounds to prepare it. So I'll see you shortly.
Built of wolves and
traveling song. Is there any bit of the significance behind that?
Absolutely. So I have another song for you. And this is a traveler song. So not necessarily physical traveling, but the idea of going on a journey. And this sounds like, you know, it's been a journey for the past year and it's going to continue to be a journey. And life is a journey. I had an elder once tell me that the longest journey that you'll ever make is from your head to your heart, right? And so this is for everybody who's on a journey, no matter what kind of journey it might be. This is to give well intentions for you and well wishes, and hope that good comes from whatever journey you might be on.
Tradition. Gracious and wonderful God, from the very beginning, you spoke creation into being. Our stories tell us it was like light coming into a chaotic dark, or water refreshing a dry land. We also think of it as the tiniest bit of your essence bursting forth and expanding into all of the created world. May this place be a blessing to our community in the strong love of Jesus. When we go from this place, we cannot be unaware that this is not a quiet corner of God's creation. Life moves pretty fast and loudly around here. We might carve out little sanctuary pockets where we forget about that and we let that not bother us, but we are always called back into that world where life is being lived. Slow it down sometimes when it's going too fast, to push it along when it needs to be nudged, but to be part of the ebb and flow of all around us. Let's go